What would you say is your core philosophy when it comes to teaching? As I know that you are an amazing teacher.
Since you are a science student and I am a commerce teacher, so what makes you think that I am more the students are more comfortable with me, or
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of DPS podcast, Beyond Streams, an episode where we explore ideas, experiences, and the people that truly shape our journey through school and beyond. I'm your host, Bidushi Kimire from Class 12 Science, and today's episode is especially exciting for me because I'm joined by someone widely admired at our school, not just for the way he teaches, but for the way he connects with our students. Here today we have a gold medalist in economics, highly qualified with multiple degrees, an author to books and research papers, and someone whose work in economics is globally recognized. Yet today, here we are going to be introducing him as a teacher who truly invests in his students. A very warm welcome to you, Kubesa.
well, thank you, Vidushi. That was a generous introduction. And just to let my audience know that this is Kuber Shetri, working as a PGT Economics at DPS Biratnagar since 3 years. And I'm glad to be a part of this podcast where I see that one of our students take initiative and is creating spaces like this. So great going, Vidushi.
Thank you, sir. And it is an honor to have you here with me talking
Thank
to you in a podcast. So, to start our session, I'd like to ask you, when you first joined the school, what stood out to you the most? What's the most interesting thing that you found out here?
So the most interesting thing and what stood me out for the first in this institution was the spirit of the students. I mean to say that every institution, every school has its infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
They have their systems, but what truly defines it is the mindset of the learners. And that was what stood me most at the beginning when I joined here.
Mm-hmm. I've been wanting to ask you, what would you say is your core philosophy when it comes to teaching? As I know that you are an amazing teacher, all students talk about how amazingly you teach. So, what is your core philosophy?
Thank you so much for the question, Vidushi. It's like I've always been a teacher who does not only believe at delivering content inside the classroom. I always try to teach students beyond books. And teaching for me, it's not only about delivering a content, it's about cultivating perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that if a student is heard and respected, the learning becomes more effective. And I've always tried my best to create that environment in our school.
And that's what we love about you.
Thank you.
What do you think makes DPS a good choice for students willing to come here for 11th and 12th grade?
This is again a very important question to us because at this phase, our class 10 students, especially the CBSE students, they have completed the board examinations. And then now this is a phase where transition begins. They want to switch, they want to choose the best for their grade 11 and 12. And here at DPS, we offer balanced ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one of the best set of faculties, not only from Nepal, we have many faculties who come from abroad,
Mm-hmm.
from India and other countries too. And we also, not besides our faculties, besides our teaching also, because we not only focus teaching within the books, we teach them beyond the books always. And then for that, we have extra co-curricular activities. We teach them in an advanced way. We have a smart room here in our school. And we have modern means of learning, which is again very important for the students.
Following with a similar question, how would you describe the faculty at DPS in one sentence?
To describe my faculties in one sentence, it is like they are experienced and well qualified.
Okay, as we know
Can
that...
I take a moment, Vedushi, to ask you something?
Yes, sure, sir.
Okay, so you have been talking about me in between this podcast, right? And I don't even teach you at the class. Since you are a science student and I am a commerce teacher. So what makes you think that I am more the students are more comfortable with me, or I teach in a better way? So why would you say that, or how do you know that?
I think this is an easy question to answer. You know why?
Okay.
Because Kubesa, you are a personality who can make the person in front of you comfortable. Even though I don't take classes from you, you were able to teach me a lot more than what I would find inside a classroom, and I think that is really valuable. And since you manage a lot of the work related to class 11 and 12 students, I feel like it is true that students think that way of you.
Okay, thank you so much. That is why this is what I am as a teacher. For me, I go and teach inside the classroom to the commerce students, right? So the commerce students are not only my students, the entire students, whoever are pursuing here, their whoever studies in DPS is my students. So it's not like I teach a particular stream and they are my students. It's not like that. I am, and always I have been there for my students throughout their journey at DPS, and not only the journey when the journey ends in DPS. Again, after that, I am connected to them throughout. Whenever they need me, always Kuber sir is always there for them.
I agree with that. So, as we have started talking about the divide between science stream and commerce stream, do you think this division is necessary? Does it harm the student's identity and curiosity in any way?
Now, the division is important to some extent, because if the division is not there, the students will not be able to choose a particular course, because the division means it's not a division of classroom, it's actually a division of courses, what they want to pursue after grade 12, right? So if a student wants to pursue something related to science, okay, if they want to be a doctor, they want to be a nurse, they want to pursue engineering, then, and I also know that you have an interest to pursue engineering after
Yes, sir.
12, right? So maybe you have to go through science stream. That's why you are there in a science stream. So it's not actually a division of classroom, it's a division of courses. What the students have planned for the future, for after grade 12. So that is why they need to choose a course. But the division should not hamper their
Identity and
but the
curiosity.
division should not hamper their identity and curiosity. That is again very important.
Yes, sir. Students often say that you care a lot about their well being. Why is that so important to you?
So here at DPS, we offer a balanced ecosystem. There is academic rigor certainly, but also equal emphasis on discipline, exposure, and overall development, which is very important.
Hmm. I often hear students saying that you genuinely care about their well being. Why do you think that is so important?
To care about the well-being of the student is very important for me, because if we are there for the students, if we listen to them, they are always ready to listen to us. And to be honest and to make it simple, in a line, it is, if we listen to them, they will listen to me, and if we care them, they will care for us. And what I always believe is, whenever I am there for the students, not only inside the classroom but also outside the classroom, but there is a word which is known as limit.
Hmm.
Everything should have a limit, and if it is done in a limit, and if I am there for a student, I am always there within a limit. And that is what they respect, what they care about me, and I also care about them. And whenever I'm there as for their good well-being, it is always reflected inside the classroom, and that is what I like about the students. It's not like I give them freedom, I am very much flexible to them. It's not like that. I am a flexible, I am there for them, but there is a limit which should be there within a teacher and student, and they value that aspect of me, and it is reflected in the teaching learning environment inside the classroom. So that is very
Understood.
important.
So, I've been wanting to ask you,
Yes.
what's the most challenging aspect of being a teacher?
The most challenging aspects of being a teacher is like balancing expectations. To balance expectation from the parents, from the students, from the institutions, and aligning all of those and working here as a teacher with the full dedication is again a very important task. I mean, it is a difficult task.
That's true. Could you tell me a little about your most memorable experience in the school?
Well, my most memorable experience in this school is not about top scores, not about top ranks. So it's when a student who once lacked a confidence finds footing and acknowledges that someone believed in them. And trust me, these moments are quiet, but it's very important.
Hmm. For the final question in
Okay.
our session, I would like to ask you, what advice would you give to the students listening to you today?
Okay, so this is for all the students. Okay, I would like to make it very simple, or keep it very simple for them. Okay, don't let your marks define your self worth. Marks are important, but they are not everything.
I agree with you. So, sir, this conversation has been incredibly insightful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Vidashi. It was a memorable experience to me here being with you in a podcast.
Me too, sir. Thank you, everyone. That's it for today. See you in the next episode. Bye.